My name's Brandy with On a Whim by Bee. I've been doing wreaths and selling them for about a year now. I thank you for joining me. Let me know if you're watching this on the replay. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I will answer them as soon as I can. If I can't do it during the live, I will look through them and answer them when we're all finished, okay? Okay, so again, my name's Brandy with On a Whim by Bee. Today we're gonna make an Easter paint stick swag. So I started off with the 5-gallon paint stick. I got this at Home Depot. I added a little loop back here to hang, brought it around. Then I've added pipe cleaner about every 4 inches. I was gonna let you see how I do this at the very end. I just bring it, kind of center it, bring it, and just twist. See? So they're all right there, and the hangs in the back. Okay? So then I'm going to take my hot glue gun. I'm going to put just a little glue just to help hold it a little snug securely there. This is just my preference on how I do this. The top one I do just a little bit more because it also has the one that everything is hanging off of. So I'm going to let that dry. I made a bow a little bit earlier. As you can see, another time we'll do another bow that you can see me making it. I'll do a tutorial on that one as well. So again, I want to thank you for joining me today. Please let me know in the comments who you are, how long you've been here, say hello, where you're watching from, anything like that, okay? What do you think of that, Bo? Yeah. Sorry. Been fighting this yuck. So, I have got 3 meshes. Each one is a little bit different. And we'll kind of alternate as we go. We're going to do 2 layers. So, the first row, we're going to do what they call the cruffle. And if you see the mesh, since it's been round, how it naturally goes in like that. So I face it down like this. I give myself about 1 inch right there. Find the center. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just walking my fingers up. I'm staying in the center. If you feel like you're losing, find your middle again. I leave about 1 inch on that end. And we have it looking like that. Now this mesh is cut. It's a 10-inch mesh and it is cut at 20 inches. Okay, so we're going to start at the bottom and see how I've made this bow. This first bow is going to go up and down like this on my paint stick. Okay, so I'm going to just put that there. Hopefully my voice will keep intact. Okay, we're just going to give it a couple twists, make sure it's secure in there. I overlap it just a little bit, but that's how it looks. See, it's up and down, okay? That's important because the next one we're doing just the opposite with. We will be, excuse me, alternating directions. Again, taking it down, giving myself about an inch, walking my fingers. These are relatively inexpensive. It does not take a lot of mesh, so especially if you're using different colors, you can give it a little variety, and you can use like 3 rolls of this deco mesh. I could make several of these, so. But you could also make a pancakes, wreath, which those don't take a lot either, so. And like I said, we're facing it crosswise, so the opposite direction of the purple mesh. Lay that in. I'm going to bring my purple mesh up and over, kind of like that. You can see. So the first one, it went this way and then this way. Okay. We're going to use some pink now. Okay. Go ahead, just walk your fingers, staying in the center of your mesh. Sometimes your mesh likes to slide around, so take it a little slow, it's okay. And again, that one we did that way, this one we're doing the up and down. Okay. I haven't decided if I want to do a sign or just some eggs. So this one I'm going to bring. I haven't decided if I want to do a sign. Let's keep the pink on top. I like it better with like that. Okay. So then this next one will go this way. So we're going to go to the purple. Blue. I mean, as we go, we're kind of just making it up. So again, take it. If you're watching on the replay, make sure you comment replay. Let me know if you enjoyed this. If there's something else you would like to see me make. If you're interested in a wreath or swag, I do have an Etsy shop. You can go ahead and look there. If you're local to the Pinedale area, you can look on Etsy, but I would then have you contact me personally to make something, because we don't have shipping, so then I don't want any fees. Okay, there we go. This one's gonna go up and down. So it's the same direction that my bottom one started. Just make sure when you're tying the pipe cleaner around it that you keep that pipe cleaner tight. That's the most important thing, is to keep that pipe cleaner tight, so the mesh doesn't slide out. Okay, so lots of color with that, right? Okay, so then we're going to start with the pink, but I'm going to switch it up a little bit, and instead of rolling it down with the cruffle, we're going to do a ruffle. With the ruffle, I do 3, and you come to this other end. The easy way when you're starting this to do this is to take one of these little clips, hold it, come to the other end, and roll 1, 2, 3. walk your fingers together, just like that. It makes a bow that comes up this way. Excuse me. So, we laid our purple this way. We go in the opposite direction, okay? And what this is doing by using a different roll method, I'm giving a little more texture, and to me, I feel a little more depth because now it rises a little more, okay? And then come down. That one went that way, so this one's gonna go up and down this way, okay? So we're kind of going to be just alternating our stuff, but we're gonna have some purples kind of close together, okay? Again, we're gonna roll 1, 2, 3. If you're new to this, use a little clip, and these are just, you know, chip clips. If you put the magnet on the bottom, it has a little weight and it'll help hold that mesh down, typically. That one may not. So 1, 2, 3. You walk down the center. Now let's walk down the center again. There we go. Looks a little bit better. Okay. And again, you still get a nice bow look. It just is a little different. This one's going up and down. Okay. Just twist it on there nice and tight. Okay. I'm going to go to the brown. Another way to do this is 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3. Now I will warn you, gives it a little bit fluffier one. Doing it on your shirt, don't do it if you're wearing a sweater or something that the mesh snags on. Because the mesh does like to snag on things. Now, when you make these, you can use them for your door, or you can use them for a centerpiece. It's all your preference on where you want to display. Okay. See, there are many ways to do this. There really are. So don't feel you have to do it one of the ways that I did. You just want this main result. So I've alternated colors, I've alternated direction, and that just helps to give the swag just a little more. Okay, so we got one more. I'm going to do purple. Okay, there we go. I hope that was easy to follow along for you guys. How did we went this way, this way, this way, this way. So this way. Again, just make sure it's in there snug. Because if you don't, the first wind that comes along, it will blow everything right off. That's not good. Okay. So, what does everybody think? I'm dragging my ribbon all along. So, see how that is? It's just all right on the back of that. It can sit on the table. It can hang on a door. Okay? It's not overly fluffy. It's just enough. So I have pre-cut some ribbon tails. These are 12 inches long. We will see the weight when we put it in. If we like it at the 12, we'll leave it. If we want it to be shorter, we can make it a little bit shorter. But I've cut a 2.5 inch ribbon and a 1.5 inch ribbon. I put them together. I find the middle. I fold it. Okay. I will then set them down and I gather them all together, just like that. Okay. I'm going to place that inside, again, twisting my pipe cleaner. I'm only going to twist it like 2 times right now until I have the exact look I'm going for. I make sure my size is right, because once I cut those, it makes it really hard to take it out and start over. Okay, so kind of going with a look like that. What do y'all think? This is my second set of ribbon. Again, a 2.5 inch and a 1.5. And they're colors that still go with the design. I'm just gonna put that in the second one. I just put it right in there and twist that pipe cleaner around it nice and snug. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. See, it's just adding just a little bit more. Okay. So alternate your ribbon. Again, you find that halfway, just gather it, pinch it in between. Like I said, I will get this all how I want it when I have everything in here and decide how I'm doing stuff. So, I hope this has been enjoyable. I hope you're all learning how to do a paint stick swag. These are very affordable and easy to make. When I say affordable, most of the stuff you can find at the Dollar Tree except this mesh. Walmart sells mesh, Hobby Lobby sells mesh. Myself, I find these at other places. There's Craft Outlet, so there's plenty of places to find mesh to use, and then you can learn to know what your favorite mesh types are, because there are many. You know, there's fabric, there's metallic, there's like this snowdrift, which I really like. So I'm gonna take my bow, and I have a pipe cleaner right there. But before I put that on, I'm going to take the pipe cleaner that I have right in here, okay? And we're just going to twist that several times. We will then cut that. I fold it down and under in my mesh so it doesn't stick up, it doesn't poke anybody with the wire. Okay, now my bow. I'm going to take that pipe cleaner. I am going to feed it through my mesh on either side of the paint stick. Okay. Two. Okay, as you get that in, before you pull it how you want it, you need to make sure it's kind of laying the way that you want it. Sometimes that's a little hard with deco mesh. It has a mind of its own. I don't want my bow to sink in too much, so I'm not making this really tight. I'm going to take the pipe cleaner that I just fed through. I'm going to make it snug but not overly tight because I don't want my bow to sink into the mesh. I'm going to twist that really good, and then I tuck it back in to here. I want it to be secure, but I also don't want it to scratch anything. Okay, so see, now let's go ahead, get this bow how we want it, right? Easiest way to fluff a bow, take your 2 fingers and just play with it like that with the ribbon. Just run it through. It works great. Sometimes the tails, you have to make them be where you want them to be. They kind of have a mind of their own at times. So, okay. I've got that one done. So I'm going to go ahead and then fluff my bows down here how I want them. I think that the length was a perfect length. Still keeping it somewhat simple. There we go. Okay, what are we all thinking? Yeah, I kind of like that. Okay, so I also have these really big eggs that I'm thinking, because we have this bow where I positioned it, I'm making this a door swag. If I wanted it to be a centerpiece, I probably would have put my bow here or done a bow here and a bow here with my tails facing out. You'd want your tails facing out. But I am going to use this as a door swag. So, and you can see where I purchased these at last year. It has a little ribbon on them. I have 3 colors, so I could do a total of 3 eggs. I kind of like that, but I don't know. Is that too much? I'm liking it, so I'm going with it. Okay, so these already have little ties. If they didn't, you can always poke wire into it and hot glue that in there. But since it already started with this, I'm going to see. I just don't think that's going to be enough to get me through. So we're going to cut that off. If I thought they were long enough that I could use it to go through, I would. I don't think they are. I don't necessarily need the ribbon in a bow, so let's take these pipe cleaners, twist them around a couple times. Again, tuck it up and under your ribbon out of the way. Okay. You probably could use this to poke into your eggs also if you wanted to help secure them. But I'm going to use something a little different, I think. Okay. Okay, with some more pipe cleaner. And again, if those get flattened at all, that's all you do. Just pick it up, buff it the way you want. Sometimes the fatter is a little bigger. The bigger ribbon is a little more challenging, but you can do it. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's harder. I do, when I look at my ribbon, like to look at ribbon with some good wire. I think that makes all the difference in the world on how it stands. Okay, purple, pink. I actually kind of like no, changed my mind. Okay, so if all else fails, this hole I'm not real sure about, so I'm just gonna make it a little bit bigger. Okay, I usually have a little poker here, but I've moved it. Shame on me. I apologize. Put some hot glue in there. I'm going to take my pipe cleaner, fold it in half, and push it in there. Okay. We're going to go ahead and put just a little bit around the outside. I don't want too much. We'll let it dry. The fun with hot glue. Get little strings. Okay. Same thing with this one. Scissors can also work good if they're a little small, the size that you need. Okay. There we go. Put that glue in there. Make sure that you're pushing it in there, because if it's not in there far enough, it can come out way too easy, and we don't want that either, okay? And just around. This one I think is fully ready. Hi, welcome in. I'm Brandy with On a Whim by B. Go ahead and leave a comment where you're from. Thanks for joining us. Okay, while those dry, I'm going to show you just some of these simple signs that you could make work in this week as well, this swag. Okay? You have this, you could still attach that in there. And that could be just fun too. So, put another bow down at the bottom there. So, yeah, I mean, a sign could have gone in there very easily as well. I also had these other eggs that are a little smaller that we could have put in, poking out. Still may do that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see as we go along what we like, right? Okay. There we go. And if it's still not curling like you like, you can always use your fingers. Roll this up and then let it come out and it'll have a nice roll to it. So, okay, a little bit more bounce. Okay. Okay, so pink at the top, that's all dry. I want to make sure it's dry. Start trying to add things before they're dry and it's just going to come loose. So again, the pipe cleaner, you just feed it through the mesh onto the other side. It'll go on either side of my paint stick once I get it through. Hi, welcome in. Thanks for joining us. Let me know where you're joining me from. Okay. So you can see right here, it came through. Okay, so we're going to see how we want that. I don't want it poking right up, but I want it to have a little bit of, so. And how you can help that also is by adding a little hot glue. Again, so the same thing, you're twisting your pipe cleaner on. Make sure you twist it snugly because you don't want that moving around. You're going to go ahead, twist that, tuck it up and under because I don't want it to scratch my door. So, I can play with my ribbon still underneath it. Once I glue it, I won't be able to do that. So I always want to make sure that I have things where I want them positioned before I start doing that. So then we're going to go ahead and add the blue. Again, going through the mesh. And it's on either side of my ribbon that I put in, and then I do it on either side of the paint stick, okay? If you have a hard time getting your pipe cleaner to go through the deco mesh, they do make like crochet needles. Now let me show you. They look like a real needle, but they're plastic and they're thick. So, and you can put the pipe cleaner through that and stick it right through the mesh. It works really well. They make several different sizes of those, so that's always nice to have. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for coming in. Okay. Well, I had it on both ends, so I lost this one. Where did it go? There it is. Okay. So again, pulling it, getting kind of the desired placement that I want. Won't be perfect yet. I'm making it snug on the back, twisting. I am making it a little bit long. I'm going to bring that and tuck it back and behind. That way it does not scratch my door. Okay, so see, I kind of want those facing opposite directions, so that's the look that I'm going for. And just know that as you add stuff, it does tend to make the mesh sink a little bit. So be careful how much pressure you put on that, okay? Finally get this last one added. I just want you to see right here, I'm just pressing it right through and then through the deco mesh. Okay. Well, there we go. I've got it hooked on something though. There we go. Okay. Twisting it. Sorry, my dogs make a lot of noise sometimes if you hear that rustling upstairs. Okay, bring it, tuck it up and under so there's nothing showing right there. Okay. Okay. So there we go. We've got a nice little Easter decoration. Okay. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you want those to sit a little differently, like you could put it in, if you wanted them to sit on the side, you could have put that wire, the pipe cleaner, right in the side there. Okay? Okay. Thank you again for joining me. My name was Brandy with On a Whim by Bee. I really appreciate you being here with me today. Thank you so much for the like. I appreciate that. Thanks for stopping in. Let me know if you're watching the replay. Thanks again. Let me know if there's something else you want to see, okay?